Hey, Danny here from Songwriters International. Now in this video I'm going to share with you the one songwriting tip that I regret not knowing sooner, and if I had have known it earlier on in my career, it would have transformed my songwriting and allowed me to write better, catchier songs that resonated with listeners all over the world much quicker. Now if you haven't already, please consider dropping a subscribe for this channel for more things all songwriting. Now let's jump into this. What is this tip that can transform your songwriting, that can actually make it so much easier and save you so much time? Now it comes down to melody. Melody is one of, if not the most important things when it comes to songwriting. When you are songwriting, you want to have contrast through all the parts of your song, whether that's chord progressions, whether that's the lyric, whether that's the story, or whether in this case it's the melody. And the melody is the easiest way to actually create contrast most of the time. And most songs follow a simple structure of something like a verse, a chorus, then into a verse 2, then the chorus repeats, and then you maybe go into a bridge. Most of the time they're the kind of structures that you find, unless you're writing folk songs, which in that particular instance your songs are very verse driven. They're verse, 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 bridges. But for the instance of this video, we're going to keep things fairly simple, and we're just going to have that structure of a verse and a chorus. Now you may or may not be familiar with what we call static melodies. Static melodies are going to literally transform the way that you write songs. They are so simple, but they set you up so well for the rest of the song. Now I'm going to give you a simple example of a static melody in a second, but to try and picture this in your own head what a static melody is. A static melody is a melody that is designed not to move very much at all. It's a melody that is very straight. Now the reason static melodies are so good is because they are perfect for delivering a lyric. They are perfect for delivering, in particular, imagery and a great story. Now the verse itself is where we are typically going to be using static melodies, because the verse is where we want to keep things fairly straight melodically, but we want to deliver the story, where we want to actually set the scene. It's where we're going to be more imagery driven. It's where we're going to really push the lyric. Whereas the chorus is where we want to create the hook. It's where we typically go more simplistic and we actually focus on the catchy elements of the melody. So let me give you an example of a static melody. I'm not going to sing out a lyric for this particular example. We're just going to sing the melody. And just imagine that idea that I give to you. This is a melody that's not meant to move very much. It's meant to be fairly straight. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Da, 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 da. Da, da, da. Da, 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 da. Da, da, da. It doesn't move very much. It's very focused on delivering a lyric. Now let's actually put in some lyrics there and see how the focus is on the lyric and not so much the melody. Now what I'm going to sing, I don't necessarily know. We're just going to see what comes in the moment. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I just was thinking about you the other day. You came into my mind. Now and then dancing. Now you can see how you could hear every lyric that I was trying to build out. Now if I was writing this song, I would want to be more imagery driven. I would really want to paint the picture. But I'm going to give you some real life examples of songs that you may or may not be familiar with that have gone on to have incredible success, that follow this static structure, this static verse structure. So let's first of all go to Adele and that very famous song which is called Someone Like You. Now Adele does static melodies for a lot of her songs, in particular the verse, because she wants to actually tell the story. So let's go and sing this one out for you. 1, 2, 3. You know how the time flies. Only yesterday was the time of our lives. We were born and raised in a summer haze, bound by the surprise of our glory days. Now you can see, very straight, building the picture, doesn't necessarily have a lot of movement. It's not going, hey, give me that bum, blah, 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 bum. That kind of thing, because that would confuse the listener, that would throw them off, that would be all focused on designing it to focus on the hook and not so much the lyric. Now let's go to another song, and this song is a song by Justin Bieber. Love him or hate him, this is a very good song, but this song is written by Ed Sheeran, who is a very prolific songwriter, and this one's called Love Yourself. And then one final example is a song by the late great Avicii. Now, if you're into dance music, awesome. If you're not, that's still fine. This example is throughout multiple genres. Now, this particular song is called Wake Me Up, and this is a country dance crossover and is a very, very successful song. But as I say, this is in folk music, this is in pop, this is in rock, this is in jazz, this is in funk, and all of the other songs that you actually listen to. Now, let's go into the verse and let's listen to how it is done. 1, 2, 3, 4. Feeling my way through the darkness, guided by a beating heart. I can tell where the journey will end, but I know where to start. They tell me that I'm too young to understand, say I'm caught up in a dream. Life will pass me by if I don't open up my eyes. Well, that's fine by me. And that is the end of the verse. Now, if you actually look at some of those lyrics, feeling my way through the darkness, 1, 2, guided by a beating heart. The lyric there is actually very descriptive. It's very poetic, it's creating imagery, feeling my way through the darkness, guided by a beating heart. Now that lyric, like I say, is very, very strong. So the focus here is on the listener hearing that lyric. It's not about having a melody that is moving all over the place. So this is one thing that I really suggest for you, is that when you want to deliver imagery, when you want to deliver a story, and you really want the emphasis to be on the story, go ahead and jump straight into a static melody. They are the greatest and simplest thing to use for most of your songs. And the great thing is they don't become repetitive, they don't sound the same, as long as you make sure you use them correctly. And each song is always going to have a different story. It's always going to be saying something different. So even if you feel like they're somewhat similar, you're always saying something different. Go ahead, start using these static melodies in your songs. Watch how they transform your songwriting and make it so much easier to be able to write great songs that are lyrically storytelling and then also catchy when you get into that chorus later on, because you've got so much room now to play with, because your melody in that verse was very static. Now you can build it up and go anywhere from there. So if you haven't already, please consider dropping a subscribe for this channel for more videos like this, and I'll see you over on another video.